कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम् वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिम् यः पिबन् सततं रामचरितामृतसागरम् अतृप्तस्थं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषम् ओष्पतीकृतवाराशिं मशकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजम् अंजनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीशं मक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम् मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वादात्मजं वानरयूतमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारी परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं वाल्मीकिगिरिसम्भूता रामसागरगामिनी पुनादिभुवनं पुण्या रामायण महानदी वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदप्राचेतसादासीद् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना आपतामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः मङ्गलं कौसलेन्द्राय महनीय गुणाब्धये चक्रवर्ती तनुजाय सार्वभौमाय मङ्गलम् सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Extremely guarded was the palace of Ravana, and the entire place is so strong and so prosperous, and he has entered the abode of Ravana. He has come to know, because among all the other places this has been extremely secure, and he knows that here is where, if at all, Ravana would have kept Sita. We will continue from verse number 10 here, canto number 6. Mudita Pramadaratnam Rakshasendra Niveshanam Varabharana Samhradaihi Samudrasvananisvanam Tadrajaguna Sampannam Mukhyaishchavara Mahajana Samakirnam Simhairiva Mahatvanam Veri Mridanga Birutam Shangagosha Vinaditam
Shankhaghosha-vinaditam
Nityarchitam Parvasutam
Nityarchitam Parvasutam
Pujitam Rakshasai Sada
Pujitam Rakshasai Sada
Samudramiva Gambhiram
Samudramiva Gambhiram
Samudra Samanisvanam
Samudra Samanisvanam
Mahatma no Mahatveshma
Mahatmano Mahadveshma
Maharatna Parichadam
Maharatna Parichadam
Maharatna Samakirnam
Maharatna Samakirnam
Dadarsha Samaha Kapihi
Dadarsha Samaha Kapihi
Virajamanam Babusha
Virajamanam Vapusha Gajash
Gajashva, okay. Gajashvaraya Gadashvara Sankulam
Gajashvarata Sankulam
Mudida Pramadaratnam. And that place very well, which is well secured, was seen very tightly guarded. Simhairiva Mahatvanam, as again as I said yesterday, like Simhaihi by the lions, Vanam Mahat Yata Rakshitam Tata Eva. In the same way, Rakshasendrasya Ravanasya Veshma, the very palace is being guarded. Rakshasendra Veshanam Mudida Pramada Ratnam. And the place is filled with most beautiful, most excellent kind of precious stones. Mudita Pramada Ratnam. Vara Abharana Samhradaihi. Like Vara, the best of the Abharana and the best of the ornaments. And then when they are touching each other, the sound of that very jewels and ornaments that are there hitting at each other will sound like Samudra Svana Nisvanam. It is sounding like that of the ocean, making the wavy sound. Tat Rajaguna Sammannam Mukhyescha Varachandanaihi. And the place is filled with a lot of best of the sandalwood. Varachandanaihi Mukhyescha Rajaguna Sampannam. Royal quality. Rajaguna. Gurudev used to say there are three kinds of toothpaste you get. Normal size, family size, or royal size. Royal size is neither family nor the individual size. Royal, which is supposed to be fine quality. Content is the same, but it will look more the golden. It's written instead of it's written Colgate. It will be written in gold. So it's called royal. It has some embellishments. So, they say the best always is export quality. So this is an export quality sandalwood. Mahajana Samakirnam. And it is also filled with people who are Mahajana, of great people of that particular, because a capital city, capital, filled with all people who are very important in the entire place. And also here, Beri, Mridanga, Abhirutam, the kettle drums, and Mridanga, Mrudu Anga. So some people say Mrudu Anga or some people say Mruga Anga. It is the skin of a Mruga, a deer, out of which that instrument is made, therefore Mruga Anga. Some people say Mruda Anga. So here it is a Mruda Anga. Mrita Anga Abhirutam, Shanka Gosha Vinaditam, and also the sound of the conscious. Nityarchidam, Mityarchidam, ever worshipped, and Rakshasaihi Sada Paripujitam, and the entire place is constantly being worshipped, adored. Parvasutam, during the time of full moon, new moon times. And again, Samudramiva Gambhiram. The place is as vast as like that of, mighty as that of the ocean. Samudra Sama Niswanam, having the sound again of the roars. Obviously, the fort walls must be resounding the sound of the ocean as well, because it is pretty much installed in the ocean, in the island. And Mahadvesha Mahatmana of Mahatmana here means mighty Ravana. Mahatmana Mahatveshma Maharatna Parichatam, filled with all sort of most beautiful, completely covered with all the best of the Ratnas, precious stones, Maharatna Samakirnam, accumulation of all sort of precious stones. Akirna means, Kirna means to either scatter or spread. Akirnam, very well spread. Maharatna Samakirnam, Mahakabihi Sadarsha, he saw. Gaja Ashwara Sankulam Babusha. By the very entire place is filled with by the bodies of Virajamanam of our Gaja, Ashwa, Ratha, the elephants and horses and various kinds of chariots, filled, the entire place is filled with that. And Ravana is said to be the very lord of that entire place. So this, as though his physical body is the entire palace itself. Lanka Bharanamityeva.
Lankabharanamityeva
Somanyatamaha Kapihi.
Somanyatamaha kapihi
Chachara Hanumans Tatra.
Chachara Hanumams Tatra
Ravanasya Samipataha.
Ravanasya Samipataha
Gruhat Gruham Maha Rakshasanam.
Gruhat Gruham Rakshasanam
Udyanani cha Sarvashaha.
Udyanani cha Sarvashah
Vikshamanopya Samtrastaha.
Vikshamanopya Santrataha
Prasadam Sachacharasaha.
Prasadam Chacharasaha
Avaplupya Mahavegaha.
Avaplutya Mahavegaha
Prahastasya Niveshanam.
Prahastasya Niveshanam
Tadonyat Pabpubluve Veshma.
Tatonyat Pupluveshma
Mahapashvasya Viryavan.
Mahapashvasya Viryavan
Adamega Pratikasham.
Atameka Pratikasham
Kumbhakarna Niveshanam.
Kumbhakarna Niveshanam
Vibhishanasya Chatata.
Vibhishanasya cha tatha
Pupluvem Samaha Kapihi.
Pupluve Samahakapihi
Mahodarasya Chatata.
Mahodarasya cha sata
Virupakshasya Chaivahi.
Virupakshasya chaivahi
Vidyajihvasya Bhavanam.
Vidyujjihvasya bhavanam
Vidyunmalestataiva cha.
Vidyunmale tataiva cha
Vajradamshasya Chatata.
Vajradamshtrasya cha tatha
Pupluve Samaha Kapihi.
Pupluve samahakapihi
Shukrasya cha Mahavegaha.
Shukrasya cha mahavegaha
Sharanasya cha Dhimataha.
Dharanasya cha dhimataha
Tada Chendrajito Vishma.
Tadha chendrajito veshma
Jagama Hariyutapaha.
Jagama hariyuthapaha
Jambumale Sumalescha.
Jambumale sumalescha
Jagama Harisattamaha.
जगाम हरिसत्तमः
रश्मिकेतोश्च भवनम्
रश्मिकेतोश्च भवनम्
शत्रोस्तदैव च
सूर्यशस्त्रोस्तथैव च
वज्रकायस्य च तथा
वज्रकायस्य च तथा
उपप्लुवे स कपिः
पुप्लुवे स महाकपिः
Plava means to jump, leap actually. Plavati, plavate. Pupluve means he jumped or leaped. So now he is entering into the area where various kinds of palaces, clusters of them, of varieties of important people who are residing in the proximity of Ravana's mighty palace. And the very palace of Ravana is considered as the ornament of Lanka. Lanka abharanam iti eva saha amanyata mahakapihi. And chachara hanuman satra Ravanasya samipataha. He went very proximate of Ravana's abode. Grihyad griham rakshasanam. House to house he leaped. Udyananija sarvashaha, and also the gardens. Vikshamanaha, while very carefully looking for Vikshamanaha api asantrastaha, undaunted, fearless. Prasadamscha chacharasaha, he moved on to very palace. Late evening, late night, so therefore he was not easily noticed. No security cameras. Only security guards were there. Avaplutya, having crossed or leaped, Mahavekaha, the one who is mighty speed, Prahasta, first he crossed the Prahasta, the name of the Rakshasa here, Prahastasya Niveshanam. Tato Anyat, again he moved on to the next one, Mahapashva. That is the next one, Viryavan. Mahaparshva is the next one mention of that. And Mahodara. Mahodarasya cha tada pupluve. Then before that, Mahodarasya Virupaksha. Rupa Aksha means very nice eyes. Virupa Aksha. Crooked eyes. Probably that is the name of this person. Vidyajihvasya, one whose tongue is like that of the lightning. I mean, these are all names actually, perhaps the characteristics of them. Vidyunmala, again, one who wears the mala of Vidyut. That is the name of that person who is a Rakshasa. Mahodaraha, one who has a mighty belly. Virupakshaha, Vidyuha, we saw that. Vajradamshtra, one whose teeth is kind of like a Vajra. Bubluvecha, Mahagavi, Shukraha, white, Mahavekaha. Saranaha, that is the name of the next one. Indrajitaha, son of Ravana, Indrajit. And Veshma Jagama Haryutapaha, Jambumala, golden ornament. Sumala, one who wears a beautiful garland. Jagama Harisattamaha, Rashmiketaha, the name of another demon. Surya Shatraha, and then Vajrakaya, one whose body is like Vajra. In this way, he was continuously jumping from one palace to another. And they may be smaller ones, but he had to cross all these before reaching Ravana's abode. Dhumrakshasyata sampatehe.
धूम्राक्षस्याथ सम्पाते
Bhavanam marutatmajah.
भवनं मारुतात्मजः
Vidyutrupasya bhimasya.
विद्युद्रूपस्य भीमस्य
Dhanasya badanasya cha.
घनस्य विघनस्य च
Shukanabasya chakrasya.
शुकनाभस्य चक्रस्य
Shukanabasya chakrasya.
शुकनाभस्य चक्रस्य
Shatasya kapatasya cha.
शठस्य कपटस्य च
ह्रस्वकर्णस्य दंष्ट्रस्य
ह्रस्वकर्णस्य दंष्ट्रस्य
लोमशस्य च रक्षसः
लोमशस्य च रक्षसः
युद्धोन्मत्तस्य मत्तस्य
युद्धोन्मत्तस्य मत्तस्य
ध्वजग्रीवस्य सादिनः
गजग्रीवस्य तादिनः
द्विजिह्वानाम्
द्विजिह्वद्विजिह्वानाम्
तथा हस्तिमुखस्य च
तथा हस्तिमुखस्य च
करालस्य पिशाचस्य
करालस्य पिशाचस्य
शोणिताक्षस्य चैव हि
शोणिताक्षस्य चैव हि
प्लवमानक्रमेणैव
प्लवमानक्रमेणैव
हनुमान् मारुतात्मजः.
हनुमान् मारुतात्मजः.
He also passed by the palaces of Dhumraksha, Sampata, Vidyudrupa, Bhima, Ghana, Vigana, Shukanabha, Chakra, Shata, Kapata, Harswakarna, Damshtra, Lomashaha, Yuddhonmattaha, Mattaha, Dvajagrivaha, Sadin, Vidyujjihvaha, Dvijajjihvaha, Hastimukaha, Karalaha, Pishachaha, Shonidakshaha. In this way, Plabamanaha Kramena eva Hanuman Marutatmajaha. One by one, he crossed. You know, it is interesting that all of them have lived in one area. That is what very easy for him to burn them later on. If they are very scattered too far away, it's very difficult to cross and go anywhere. All these guys, easily they can be burnt to ashes. One single attack will do, like that of attacking that, New York, that towers, Twin Towers. In that way, one attack, so many people will die. So the same as like once go into that building straight in the middle, all the top and the bottom, everything is burnt. So in the same way here, Hanumanji, I think they might have got it from Hanumanji only, how to burn a place. Just to take a fire, burning flight, get in middle of the building. So here also, that's what it is. His tile was burning and then just went all around. Teshu maharheshu. Okay, continue. Teshu maharheshu.
तेषु महार्हेषु
Bhavaneshu mahayashaha.
भवनेषु महायशाः
Tesham ruddhimatam ruddhim.
तेषां वृद्धिमतां वृद्धिम्
Tadarsha cha mahakapihi.
ददर्श स महाकपिः
Sarvesham samadikramya.
सर्वेषां समतिक्रम्य
Bhavanani samantataha.
भवनानि समन्ततः
Asasadatta lakshmivan.
आससादाथ लक्ष्मीवान्
Rakshasendra niveshanam.
राक्षसेन्द्रनिवेशनम्
Ravanasyopasayinnyo.
रावणस्योपशायन्यो
Dadarsha harisattamah.
ददर्श हरिसत्तमः
Vicharan harishardulaha.
विचरन् हरिशार्दूलः
Rakshasir vikrite kshanaha.
राक्षसीर्विकृतेक्षणाः
Shulamudgarahastamscha.
शूलमुद्गरहस्ताश्च
Shaktitaumaragdharinaha.
शक्तितोमरधारिणः
Tadarsha vividan gulman.
ददर्श विविधान् गुल्मान्
Tasya padigrihe.
तस्य रक्षपते गृहे
Rakshasam cha mahakayan.
राक्षसां च महाकायान्
Nana praharanodhyatan.
नानाप्रहरणोद्यतान्
Rakshansedan sidanschapi.
रक्तान् श्वेतान् सितांश्चापि
Arinschapi mahajavan.
हरिंश्चापि महाजवान्
Ulinan rupa sampannan.
कुलीनान् रूपसम्पन्नान्
Gajan Paragajarujan
गजान् परगजारुजान्
Shikshitan Gajashikshayam
शिक्षितान् गजशिक्षायाम्
Airavata Saman Yuti
मैरावत समान्युधि
Nihruntrun Parasainnyanam
निहन्त्रून् परसैन्यानाम्
Grihe Tasmin Dadarshasah
गृहे तस्मिन् ददर्शसः
Sharadasya Yatha Megan
शिरतश्च यथा मेघान्
Tavadasya Tada Yatha Girin
स्रवतश्च यथा गिरीन्
Megastanita Nirgoshan
मेघस्तनितनिर्घोषान्
Durdarshan Samare Parehi
दुर्दर्शान् समरे परैः
Maha Arheshu, the great abodes, in those Bhavaneshu, palaces, Mahayashaha, of the men of great fame, Tesham Ruddhimadam Ruddhim Dadarsha. Each one of them are wealthier than each one. Each one of them have their own peculiar or unique amount of treasures. Ruddhimadam Ruddhim Dadarsha Mahakavihi. All of them have accumulated so much. It is like going through the Beverly Hills. Each one of them mansions 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 million. And all of them have accumulated so much wealth. Sarvesham Samadikramya, having crossed over all of them, Bhavanani Samantataha, all those houses or mansions, Asasada, he reached at the Lakshmivan. Lakshmivan here, see, it's interesting. Lakshmivan Kamaha Kabihi, not Ruddhimatan. Lakshmivan means one who has good qualities. Lakshmi here does not mean wealth. Real wealth is great virtues. That is called real Lakshmi. Lakshanat Lakshmana ityuchate. Even Lakshmana has the Lakshana. The Lakshanam, again, it is not the mere physical beauty. That's what we usually think and conclude. The real Lakshanam is what Bhagavan has given in 16th chapter. And Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha Arjavam Abhayam and all that. Ahimsa, Satyam, Akrodha. All these are all considered as Daivi Sampat in the 16th chapter of Gita. So what is real Sampat? Wealth, the good virtues. So Lakshmi Van, of such great virtues that Mahakapihi, Rakshasendra Niveshanam Asasada, he reached the real abode of Ravana, appears to be. Ravanasya Upashinyaha. And the chamber, a particular palace, is only for the bed of Ravana. When we went some years back to Rajasthan, and there, the mighty palaces are their old palaces. Of course, empty now. It is now the property of the government. And when we saw there, it's so very well built, very nicely built, and light easily, daylight and other things. And then air also, movement, even water movement for the sake of cooling the house, cooling the bed chambers, water lines. So cold water coming through that. And they have a natural AC, air conditioning. And some of the palaces we found, the entire, main prakara, main area, corridor, and it had many rooms. And at least 9 or 10 or 12 of them. So the guide who was with us, he says, the king goes to each a night every one room, because so many queens are there. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, like that. Ravana had damsels from the heaven, all the celestial beings. From different worlds he had brought people. So obviously his palace will have many, many bedrooms. Ravanasya upashayanya, in the bed chamber, Dadarsha Harisaptamaha, he saw the best of the Vanara. Vicharan Harishardulaha, the tiger among the monkeys. Rakshasihi Vikridekshanaha, and he saw that it is been guarded by the demon, she demons. Shulam Udgara Hastanscha, with holding their Shula, the spear, Udgara. Udgara is a club. That's one like this. They are holding there in their hand. Shakti, javelin, Tomara, spear, Dharinaha, Dadarsha Vividan, Gulman. Various armies seen around that. Tasya Rakshasa Padigrihe, Pader Grihe, Rakshasa Padehe Grihe, Rakshapadehe, Rakshapadehe, that is the lord of all the demons, that is Ravana. Rakshasancha Mahakayan, the mighty bellied, huge Rakshasas, Nana Praharana Udyatan, having various kinds of weapons in their hand, holding Raktanscha Shvedan, and the red and white horses. Siddhanschapi, Harin Chapi, Mahajavan, of the great speed. If you see the Arabic horse, it is taller than you, definitely. At least 6 to 7, 6.5 feet height. If you stand there, their body will be here, and tail will be somewhere there. Think about even getting onto that. Above your height, how will you get on? What we know is only the ponies found in when we go to Chardham and all. They are punies, that ponies. They are nothing but the least model, the lowest model of the horses. Not even horses they are. But royal horses are not, you can't even look at them. It's like the elephant, so strong. So that kind of a well-trained ones. Kulinan, they are royal made. They are called pedigree, best pedigree. Kulinan, Rupa Sampannan, and they are also so beautiful to look at. Gajan, elephants. Paragaja Arujan. Aruja means to shatter and break them. Paragaja Arujan, they are capable of breaking all other elephants of the world. Shikshitan, well trained. Gajashikshayam Airavata Sama Yati. They are equal to the Airavata, which is found to be the elephant, mighty elephant of Indra, which he got it from Samudra Matanam. They are equal to that in terms of discipline and training. Nikhrantran Parasainyanam Grihe. They are Grihe Tasmin Dadarsha. He saw in that house, they are capable of destroying all the other armies. Nikhrantran Parasainyanam, and Ksharadascha Yata Megan, Sravadascha Yata Girin, so that entire place is conceived to be that powerful. And it is said that the elephant often produces certain kind of elixir, so to say, or some kind of oozing out from their temples. And that makes them sometimes mad, sometimes very powerful. And that is like similar to Sharatascha Yata Megan, like that of that water that is coming out of the clouds, or Yata Girin Srapatascha, the stream that comes out of the Giri hills, Megha Nidana Goshan, Nidar Goshan, Megas Tanita Nirgoshan, the thundering, Tanita means thundering of the clouds, similar to that kind of sound. They, when they are making the sound of, it is like that. Durdarshan Samare Paraihi, it is actually unconquerable by others. Paraihi Samare, in the war, Paraihi Durdarshan, it is very difficult to conquer them, because these mighty elephants on which the soldiers stand or sit and fight, the elephant, when it comes, you cannot anyway go near it, and they themselves stampede everybody there. The person who is sitting there is obviously much higher in terms of height, and he can easily attack all others. So that's why they use these elephants and horses to use them in the battlefield. So all of them are seen to be there, expressing the mighty power of Ravana, or the royal mighty power of Ravana in that abode. Sahasram Vahinis
Sahasram Vahinistatra
Jambunada Parishkrutaha
Jambunada Parishkrutaha
Hemajalaira Vichinnaha
Hemajalaira Vichinnaha
Tarunaditya Sannibaha
Tarunaditya Tannibaha
Tadarsha Rakshasendrasya
Dadarsha Rakshasendrasya
Ravanasya Niveshane
Ravanasya Niveshani
Shibika Vividakaraha
Shibika Vividhakaraha
Sakabir Marutatmajaha
Sakapir Marutatmajaha
Latagrihani Chitrani
Lata Grihani Chitrani
Chitrashala Grihani Cha
Chitrashala Gruhani Cha
Krida Grihani Chalyani
Krida Gruhani Chanyani
Daru Parvatakani Cha
Daru Parvatakani Cha
Kamasya Grihakam Saramyam
Kamasya Gruhakam Ramyam
Divagrihakam Evacha
Divagruhakam Evacha
Tatasya Rakshasendrasya
Tadarsha Rakshasendrasya
Ravanasya Niveshane
Ravanasya Niveshani
Samantara Samaprakyam
Samandara Samaprakyam
Mayurasthana Sankulam
Mayurasthana Sankulam
Dvajayashti Birakirnam
Dvajayashti Bhirakirnam
Datasya Bhavanottamam
Tadarsha Bhavanottamam
Anantaratna Nichayam
Anantaratna Nichayam
Nitijalam Samantatah
Nidhijalam Samantataha
Dhiranishthita Karmankam
Dhiranishthita Karmankam
Griham Bhuta Pateriva
Gruham Bhuta Pateriva
Archibhischapi Ratnanam
Archibhischapi Ratnanam
Tejasa Ravanasya Cha
Tejasa Ravanasya Cha
Virarajata Tatveshma
Virarajacha Tadveshma
Rashmivan Iva Rashmibihi
Rashmivaniva Rashmibhihi
Jambunada Mayanyaiva
Jambunadamayanyeva
Shayanan Vasanani Cha
Shayananyasanani Cha
Bhajanani Cha Shubrani
Bhajanani Cha Shubrani
Tadasha Hariyutapaha
Dadarsha Hariyuthapaha
Madvasa Kritakledam
Madhvasa Vakritakledam
Manibhajana Sankulam
Manibhajana Sankulam
Manoramam Asambhadam
Manoramam Asambhadam
Kubera Bhavanam Yata
Kubera Bhavanam Yadha
Nupuranam Cha Goshena
Nupuranam Cha Ghoshena
Kanchinam Nisvanena Cha
काञ्चीनां निस्वनेन च
मृदङ्गतल निर्घोषैः
मृदङ्गतलनिर्घोषैः
घोषवद्भिर्विनादितम्
घोषवद्भिर्विनादितम्
प्रासादसङ्घातयुतम्
प्रासादसङ्घातयुतम्
श्रीरत्नशतसङ्कुलम्
त्रिरत्नशतसङ्कुलम्
संव्यूढकक्ष्यं हनुमान् सुव्यूढकक्ष्यं हनुमान्
सुव्यूढकक्षम् हनुमान्
विवेशमहागृहम्
प्रविवेश महागृहम्
वाहिनी आर्मी सहस्रं वाहिनी तत्र thousands of army soldiers, and all of them were wearing not merely a regular iron armor, jambunada parishkrutaha, golden armor, and golden arms also, hemajalaihi avichinnaha, covered with the armors of made out of gold, hemajala avichinna, hemajalaiha avichinnaha, Taruna Aditya Sannibaha, shining in, even in the midnight, they are shining like that of the day, the young, or the sun that is rising up. Taruna means young. Taruna Aditya Sannibaha, equal to that of the sun at the beginning of the day. Rakshasendrasya Ravanasya Niveshane Dadesha, he saw in the abode of Ravana. And Shibikaha, Vividakaraha, various kinds of palanquins. Kabi Marutatmajaha, he saw Marutatmajaha, the son of wind, and various kinds of mansions. First of all is Lata Graha. Lata Graha. Lata means creeper. When we, outside that, the what is that place? Patio in Rameshwaram, a lot of this money plants are growing. They are called Lata Griha. I'm going to rename that as Lata Griha because it's creepers all over the place running at. So the garden house, the Lata Griha is garden house. Chitrani Chitrashala Grihani. And there are places where only the picture galleries, various kinds of artifacts and various well-known paintings from all over the world are placed in that very area. Picture gallery. Krida Grihani, sporting house, basketball, football, tennis court, cricket. All sort of things, because obviously the king must have access to everything, even the race course, golf, because when he cannot go somewhere else to play. He will invite the VIPs of the world, and they have to come, and then they have to play also. Then all the entertainment has to be there. Anyani Daru Parvatakanicha. They are a heap of wood. So the wooden houses, Daru Parvata. Daru is wood and Parvata is like a heap, like a hill, with a whole mountain kind of filled with the wood. Kamasya Grihakam, the place where, the place where the dwelling place with the women. Bedrooms with which are well decorated, and Divagraham. Divagraham is my living chambers, because during the day. So that is also found to be there. The Darsha Rakshasendrasya Ravanasya Niveshane Sa Mandara Sama Prakyam. The whole place is looking like a Mount Mandara. And so, Mayurasthana Sankulam, and filled with a lot of peacocks. And the peacock is a symbol of love, or, amor, as I said, amor. Filled with of romantic love. Dwaja Yashtibhi Akirnam. And the place is also filled with a lot of flagstaff. See, it is also And if you go to United Nations, you'll find various kinds of the flags of various countries. And they are united together to come together to make decisions for the world, like that. But Ravana, having conquered various dynasties or various kings, the flag of those kings are kept here to prove I have conquered these fellows. From each of the country where he has conquered, those flags are here. Meaning what? If somebody comes, oh, all these fellows are conquered by Ravana. So that's why Dvija Yashti Abhihi Akirnam Tatarsha Bhavanottamam. He saw the best of the chamber. Anantara Ratna Nichayam. The very abode is filled with Nichayam. It's the repository of various kinds of precious stones. Nidhijalam, chambers of treasure. Samantataha. Dhira Nishtida Karmankam. It is very well built. The chamber was built. Karma Griham. That very Ankam is Griham. Karmangam. Dhira Nishtida. Actually, best of the craftsmen in the world have created that place. Griham. Bhutapadire Vatehe Riva. Like the abode of Shiva. Bhutapatehe Iva Griham. Dhira Nishtida Karmangam. Archibihischapi Ramyana. And Archi is actually the sparks. But it is the golden sparks or golden streams. Ratnanam Chetasa Ravanasya. Ravanasya Tejasa. It is all shining because of the precious stones. But also the place is brilliant because of the tejas of Ravana. So the brilliance of Ravana, is not only a person of mighty power, physical strength, but also tapas, rajasic tapas. So you can see the brilliance of Ravana is found to be splendidly shining there. Viraraja tatat veshma, that very place was shining, Rashmivaniva Rashmibihi, like the sun which is shining out of its own rays, so also Ravana's place is shining out of the golden rays brilliantly. So Jambunada Mayaneva, Mayan Esha Shayanani Asanani cha. The bed as well as the seating places are all filled with gold. It's all made of gold. Bhajanani the Shubhrani, and best of the vessels also kept there, which are also made of gold. Dadarsha Hariyotapaha. And Madhu Asava Krita Kledam. The place is when so much of richness is there, then liquid spirituality will also be there. Madhu, wine. Asu means the liquor. Asavaha, plural. Asava, krita, kledam. The entire place, the floor was wet with the drinks that were used there, wine and liquors. Manibhajana sankulam. And even the vessels in which they are kept are precious stones, precious jewels decorating those vessels. Manibhajana sankulam, manoramam, very delightful. Asambhadam, and not Sambhada means little place. It is a large area. Asambhadam, Kubera Bhavanam Yata, like the abode of Kubera. Kubera is the fortune 100, always on the top list, the first. So he, having conquered Kubera, obviously he has got all the wealth which Kubera had under his command. Nupuranam cha Goshena, by the sound of the anklets, Kanchinam, of the girdles, Nisvanena cha, by the sound created by them, also Mridanga, the sound of the Mridangam, and Tala, people clapping, Nirgosha Vadbihi, and also various other musical instruments which are making noise. Ninaditam Vadbihi, Vinaditam, the sound that are coming out of the palace. Even in the middle of the night, there is some party going on there. Pradasa Sanghatayatam, clusters of various kinds of such mansions. Striratna Shata Sankulam, also many kind of beautiful women which were moving around in that very palace. Suvyuda Kaksham, and also the large, Vyuda, large, Suvyuda, large chambers, Kaksham, Hanuman, Mahagraham Pravivesha, that very place which is considered to be Rakshasendrasya Ravanasya Mahagraham, that he entered into. Now, his intention is not only observing what is there, but also, obviously, to find out Sita. Now, he is going to watch the most well-known Pushpaka Viman. Now, it is interesting that the Pushpaka Viman is described here in the next chapter, because this Vimana, or considered as the aerial plane, is known to be one of the unique description found in Ramayan, because the concept of flying was not even there in any other literature of those times. Flying by the human is impossible. Birds and others, yes. But how the human being can fly like bird? Even the very thought of it was not there at that time. But here Ramayan has explained the possibility of a Vimana. Even before the Wright brothers even thought about it, how it could be possible. Ravana had already had it. Think of that. Is it not the unique creativity of, even if you consider it's a story, it's not story, obviously, it is a description of a thing which actually happened. But even if you consider it as a story, but somebody thought about it much before those fellows in the Western world, that people can make a vessel or a vehicle that can fly. So that we'll see in the next chapter here. Ityasya Srimad Ramayana Valmiki Adikavi Sundara Kandi Shashta Sarga. Saveshmajalam Balavan Dadarsha.
Saveshmajalam Balavan Dadarsha.
Vyasakta Vaidurya Suvarna Jalam.
Vyasakta Vaidurya Suvarna Jalam.
Yata Mahat Prabrashi Megha Jalam.
Yadha Mahat Pravrushimega Jalam.
Vidyut Pinaddam Savihanga Jalam.
Vidyut Pinadam Savihanga Jalam.
Niveshananam Vividascha Shalaha.
Niveshananam Vividamcha Shalaha.
Pradhana Shanka Yudachapa Shalaha.
Pradhana Shankha Yudachapa Shalaha.
Manoharaschapi Punarvishalaha.
Manoharaschapi Punarvishalaha.
Dadarsha Veshmadishu Chandramashalaha.
Tadarsha Veshmadrishu Chandrashalaha.
Dadarsha, he saw what? Balavan Hanuman, mighty one. Veshmajalam, various varied and continuous rows of mansions. Vyasakta, Vaidurya, Suvarna Jalam. And with all of them, all the mansions are Vyasakta. Vyasakta means fixed, embedded. Vaidurya, the cat's eye. Suvarna Jalam, with most beautiful colors. Yada Mahapravrishi Megha Jalam, during the time of the autumnal season, how the clouds have continuous clusters of clouds or one after another, they are formed. Vidyut Nibaddham, Vidyut Pinaddham. It's such a beautiful description, like the clouds that are like a string of clouds we will find during the time of autumn season, and the lightning is passing through all of them, one by another, one by one, one by one. So likewise, you could see the bright, Vaidurya's are found to be embedded in all the palaces. So Vihangajalam, Pinadam is fastened, so tightened by all. And also it is interesting how during that time, the Vihangajalam, whole very line of birds flying at the same time among the clouds. Is a beautiful, you can even imagine that condition where the sky is filled with the rows of clouds brightened by the lightning, in which the birds are flying as a single line. In the same way, the cluster of mansions are found to be filled with all the precious stones shining there. Vividascha shalaha niveshananam, various halls, chambers of these various palaces. Pradhana shankayuda chapa shalaha. Pradhana shanka, the best of the conches, ayuda, armors, chapa, the bows, are all kept there in various huge chambers. See, if you go to a temple, you will find deities, gods. You will not find weapons. If you go to a business house, you will find various kinds of consumable goods. But in a palace, what do you find? All armors only. Because the palace is where soldiers live, rulers live. And therefore, what you find there is more and more of weaponry only. So here, this is a large area filled with weapon. Pradhana Shanka Ayuda Chapa Shalaha. And Manoharaschapi Punar Vishalaha, the darsha. And also we see various halls which are large in number, delightful to the mind. Veshmadishu Chandrama Shalaha. And also all the chambers, all the houses or the palaces have got open terrace. On that open terrace is considered as Chandrashala, the place where one can lie down and watch the moon. They are called Chandrashala. Grihani Nana Vasurajitani.
Gruhani nana vasurajitani.
Devasuraischapi supujitani.
Devasuraischapi supujitani.
Sarvaisya doshai parivarjitani.
Sarvaischa doshai parivarjitani.
Kabir dadarsha svagbalarjidani.
Kapir dadarsha svabalarjitani.
Tani prayatna bisamahitani.
Tani prayatna bisamahitani.
Mayena sakshadiva nirmitani.
Mayena saksha diva nirmitani.
Mahitale sarva gunottarani.
Mahitale sarva gunottarani.
Dadarsha lankadipatir grihani.
Dadarsha lankadhipater gruhani.
Tato dadarsachita megharupam.
Tato dadarshorchita megharupam.
Manoharam kanchana charurupam.
Manoharam kanchana charurupam.
Rakshoti pasyatma balanurupam.
Rakshodipasyatma balanurupam.
Gruhottamam ha pratiruparupam.
Gruhottamam hya pratiruparupam.
Mahitale swargamiva prakirnam.
महीतले स्वर्गमिव प्रकीर्णम्
Shriya Jwalantam Bahuratna Kirnam
श्रियाज्वलन्तं बहुरत्नकीर्णम्
Nana Tarunam Kusumavakirnam
नानातरूणां कुसुमावकीर्णम्
Girerivagram Rajarajakirnam
गिरेरि
Rajasavaki Gune Girerivagram Rajasavakirnam
गिरेरिवाग्रं रजसावकीर्णम्
Nari Pravekai Nari Pravekairivadipyamanam
नारीप्रवेकैरिव दीप्यमानम्
Tadidbirambodaramachyamanam
तडिद्भिरम्बोधरमर्च्यमानम्
Hamsa Pravekairiva Vahyamanam
हंसप्रवेकैरिव वाह्यमानम्
Shriyayutam Ke Sukrutam Vimanam
श्रियायुतं के सुकृतं विमानम्
Nana Surarjitani Nana Sura Nana Vasu Arjitani Nana Vasu means the wealth. Nana Vasu Arjitani, collected from various parts of the world, the house, Grihani, Deva Asuraischa Api Supujitani. It is even worshipped by Devas and Asuras because these places are so wealthy that even Sarga is, nothing. Sarvaischa doshaihi parivarjitani. It is faultless, very well made with no fault at all. Extremely well built. Kavi Dadarsha, he saw, and all these things were acquired by Ravana by his own power. Swabalaihi arjitani. By Ravana, by his own mighty strength only, he has not threatened people, but he has shown his strength, not corrupt ways. But he had expressed his power and got all of them in his chamber. And Tani Prayatna Abhisabahitani Mayena. Maya is considered as the great architect of the Rakshasas. By himself it is created, the entire place. Prayatna Abhisamahitani Sakshad Mayena Nirmitani, built by him very carefully, devoid of all possible, blunders that one may commit in the architectural design. And Sarvaguna Uttarani Mahitale, the best of the ones among found on the earth, that is found as Lanka, Atipate Krihani Dadarsha, the houses that housed all his ministers. Tataha Dadarsha is also the Uchrita Megarupam Manoharam Kanchana Charurupam. So there one chamber that we found is, and all the chambers that we found are Uchrita, tall ones, tall towers, which are also delightful to the mind, made of gold. Raksha Adipasya Atma Balanurupam, mightily built by the sake of the strength of, showing the strength of Ravana. That's why it's so towering, tall. I was there in Panama sometime back in the summer, just for a visit on my way back from Trinidad. Clusters and clusters of huge buildings. Clusters of them, and LA and all nothing. Hundreds of them. Each one of them is 100 floors, 120 floors. So the guide who was taking, he was telling, I was asking, why the mighty huge, most of them are, very well built, very nicely designed. Some of them housed some banks, etc. Then I asked him, I have never seen such an amount of buildings anywhere in the world. So who lives there and what is this place and why so many buildings? He smiled and said, most of them are empty. Most of them are empty. Why? Because these are all built by those people who brought the money through drug and other things, and they have to account it for, and they build these things. And they show as though it has been occupied by very many people, and as though they are collecting money, and that way the money is accounted for. Unbelievable amount of, if you go and see that place, you will come to know what I'm talking about. Huge buildings, nobody lives there, no housing of any office. And they are all built only to show the power of the financial strength of the people who are bringing money into their country, because it's untaxed there. So that kind of a thing here, Uchrita Mega Rupam Manoharam Kanchana Rakshasa Adipatasya Mahabala Rupam Atmabala Rupam Gruhottamam Apratiba Rupa Rupam, incomparable, matchless. Mahitale Swargamiva, it is like the heaven on earth, Prakirnam, Shriya Prakirnam, filled with wealth, Jvalantam, shining, Bahuratna Kirnam, of many, many different kinds of precious stones, jewels. Nana Tarunam, Kusuma Kirnam, also it had many, many different trees and shedding lot of flowers. Girehe Iva Agram, Rajasa Avakirnam, like that of the trees that have spread out their pollens everywhere. In the same way, it is found a lot of trees laden with flowers. Nari Pravayakaihi. And Praveka means distinguishing. Nana Praveke Rivadipyama. Nari Praveka. Distinguishing women that are found to be there. Shining there. So Viveka, which is the root, which means to divide, to divide or differentiate. Viveka, Vivicha means having divided, differentiated. So Upasarga, Viveka is to differentiate. Pra Upasarga with the same root is called distinguishing. So Pravekaihi Iriva, Nari Pravekar, by the distinguishing women, it is shining. Tadidbihi. Tadidbihi Amba Udaram Archamanam. So, like that of the clouds that are Ambodaram, means that which have water in their stomach. That's called Ambodara. Not Lambodara, Ambodara. Ambodara means cloud. Lambodara is Bhagavan Ganesha there. By the cloud which is found to be, the example that is given, here, Hamsa Praveke Iriba Bahyamanam. Like the clouds are in the sky, K in the space, how the clouds are being led by the Hamsa bird. In the same way, the whole place of Mary's mansions are led by the best of the women, as though like leading it. Shriyayutam, filled with the prosperity. Ke Sukrutam Vimanam. And out we'll find that the palace is looking like that of the huge a plane which is being led by the best of the distinguishing women, like that of the clouds in the sky are led by the Hamsa birds. That is how the comparison is going. So we'll see now, slowly he will come to see the actual Viman. And one will not be able to distinguish whether it is a palace or an airplane. Nowadays also they have aeroplanes which have so much of luxury inside. But Ravana's is different. And Kubera's actually. And it is said that, recently Lanka minister, one of them, said, we have neglected Ravana so much. He is the hero of this land. Let us do a special study on Ravana. In Lanka, they are doing a special study on Ravana. That's very interesting news I saw. Rama di chod diya, Ravan ko abhi pakad gaya. Now let us understand Ravana first.
अगणित गुण गण भूषण रामा आश्रित वत्सल जय जय रामा अयोध्यवासी सीता रामा आपद बांधव जय जय रामा दशरथ नंदन श्री रामा दशमुख मर्दन जय जय रामा कौसल्या सुखवर्धन रामा कामित फलदा जय जय रामा पाप विमोचन श्री रामा पट्टाभिरामा जय जय रामा जानकी जीवन सीता रामा जय रघुरामा जय सिया रामा वानर सेवित श्री रामा वारिधि वंदन जय जय रामा हनुमत पूजित सीता रामा जय रघुरामा जय श्री रामा रघुपति राघव राजा रामा पतित पावन सीता रामा श्री राम जय जय रामा श्री राम जय जय रामा सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।